guys, this is Kathy here on my YouTube channel. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Well, today we're going to talk about something divorce related as usual. Today we're going to talk about betrayal trauma. I started this series a while back and I've done 2 other videos on this. The first one was, what is betrayal trauma? And I'll put links to each one in the description box for you if you want to take a look at them. And the other one, the second one, is causes of betrayal trauma. What puts you at risk for betrayal trauma? And the one today is called, What is Betrayal Trauma and Are You a Victim? Part 3, Symptoms to Look for in Betrayal Trauma. I remember I listened to a video, and I have that in several of the posts. I'll put a link to that in the description box as well. But a lady was talking about betrayal trauma. I had never heard of that. And when I listened to her video and I listened to the symptoms and I listened to the causes, I realized that's what I have. That's what I suffered with after my divorce. It was a complete betrayal, and I suffered the consequences of that betrayal. And it really took me 10 years to come, I'm not going to say completely out of it, because I think the scars will always be there. And for me, there's a lack of trust now sometimes for people. Not always, but I mean, it's mild, but it's there. So I think there's effects that will always follow you, but I think you can get over it and live a really happy life, which I am now. But it takes time. We're going to talk about on the next one how maybe, and hopefully we can get through betrayal trauma quicker. If we know what we're dealing with, we accept it, we don't deny it, and we try to move on. I think we can maybe move quicker than my 10-year time frame, which was a little too long. Here are the symptoms of betrayal trauma. Feeling you can't move on. I was ready to give up. I just thought, I can't keep going. Why keep going? I might as well just end it. And I was very tempted to do so. PTSD, from what I've read about that, I don't think I have that. I did have one thing. It's been since he left me in 2013. So it's been all that time up to now, 2023. And only one time did I have a weird, almost an emotion that was so real that I had felt early on, and it came back to me. But it lasted a split second, enough for me to think, okay, where'd that come from? I had no idea where it came from, but it was intense, and I recognized it as being one of the emotions I felt at the beginning of this process. So if I have it, it's a very mild case, because that's only happened once. Depression, had that. Anxiety, had that. Dissociation, I don't think I had that. Trust issues, probably. And rightfully so. And here are some other symptoms of betrayal trauma as well that some people deal with. Emotional dysregulation and difficulty concentrating. Dysregulation is defined as any excessive or otherwise poorly managed mechanism of response. Difficulty concentrating. And for me, it was really tough in the beginning to concentrate. With my first book that I wrote, My Story, My Divorce, God's Promise, the beginning, everything's brief. What happened that day? It's a chapter like that. And I would rely on God's promise, and I'd give you scripture for that. But everything was very, very short, to the point, because I could not focus. Physical pain. I had physical pain. My body literally burned. I mean, literally burned. I remember lying in bed, curled up, crying, thinking, why is my skin burning? And it was horrible. And that went on for literally years. I got used to it, where I would stop and think, yeah, it's still burning, but I was used to it. I learned to live with it. I don't have it anymore. It's gone. Thank the Lord. That was kind of disturbing. Substance abuse, I didn't struggle with that. I have been drinking more wine, though. He was a pastor, and he was against wine. We couldn't drink wine. I was never against drinking wine. And my family all had wine at dinner. It was no big deal. And so once we were separated, I started drinking wine again. I must say I really enjoy it. Eating disorders, I didn't have that. I did, in the very beginning, I was so depressed and sad that I did lose an excessive amount of weight. I went from a size 10 to a size 4 in a matter of weeks. I just couldn't eat. And other people go the opposite direction, and they try to suppress their pain with eating, and so they gain weight. Shame and guilt. I didn't have any shame and guilt. I don't think I did anything wrong. I won't go into all the things I think that he did wrong, but I had no shame or guilt there. The only shame or guilt that I had was not listening to my gut, which talked to me in the early stages of our marriage. It said, be careful, something's happening, you don't know what's going on. And I did not listen to that, because he was a pastor and he was called of God so he wouldn't cross any lines like that, would he? Low self-esteem, no. Maybe in a sense, because you feel like you're thrown away, like you're worthless, just throw her away, she's not worth anything. Maybe in that regard, but not a lot of that for me. Mood swings, I guess in the fact that I cried all the time. I cried everywhere. I cried all day, every day practically. When I wasn't crying, I was holding back the tears. So yes, I cried all the time. So if you're going through a divorce and you find yourself with these symptoms and you wonder why you can't break free, it may just be because you're struggling with betrayal trauma. And I would suggest you go see a counselor. Find one that knows about betrayal trauma, because I had never heard of it, and I'm sure some counselors have not. I would search for someone who has some type of a background in helping folks with betrayal trauma. Okay, so next time we're going to talk about ways that I'm going to try to find that will help us heal a little quicker from betrayal trauma. The second book I'm writing, which is going to be coming out, I think in November. I just finished it. I have the proofs. I'm going to do a book unboxing of the proofs. I haven't seen them yet. And it talks a little bit about ways to get through. Some things you should do to help you get through the day, to help you get through the month, to help you get through the year, to help you move on. All right, guys, thanks for watching. God bless you on this journey, and I will see you again soon. Take care, and always remember, God will never leave you or forsake you. You guys take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.